Welcome back to the show. Well, what was supposed to be a couple's big step towards purchasing a home in the Blue Mountains has turned into a never-ending nightmare. Simon Elvins and his wife have been scammed out of more than $275,000 via email from a fake invoice conveyancer. And unfortunately, the banks were only able to retrieve $200 for them. $200. Simon joins us now from the Blue Mountains in New South Wales to discuss. Simon, good morning to you. Not a good morning for you at all, is it? You've lost a lot of money. Talk us through what happened.
Yeah, sure. So very briefly, my wife and I, we spent 3 months conversing with our conveyancers to buy our first home. We found a place that we really loved and followed email instructions from our conveyancers with bank details and where to pay the down payment. We even received emails from the conveyancers to confirm that they'd received the money. It was only a week later, just before completion date, that we realised that the email that we'd received was from a scammer, and the account we'd paid the money into was a scam account. By the time we'd alerted the banks, it was too late. The money was gone.
So the email, for all intents and purposes, looked exactly the same as one you were getting from your conveyancer?
Absolutely, in every way.
Gee, that's tough. And so then you're alerted, what, a couple of days later that they haven't received the money?
Yeah, so we were due to complete on the Monday. So the Friday before that, we received an email from the conveyancers, conveyancers, that we were due to pay the monies. It was after some desperate scratching around and phone calls with the conveyancers, it became apparent that they hadn't received our money and the money had been paid into a scam account.
So, and then you ring the bank. The bank says, "I'm sorry, we can't do anything about that," and you're left with nothing, or $200.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's a very long, drawn-out process with the banks. Even though the money had probably gone in by the time we'd rung them, we ended up waiting 10 weeks before we'd even heard anything back about our money from the banks.
And so what's the next step for you then? I mean, I would have thought banks had some kind of insurance to cover here, or what happens?
Well, there's quite a few steps really that the banks can be doing. So firstly, I think it should be made mandatory that conveyancers, solicitors, and real estate should all have cybercrime insurance. And from my own personal experience, the banks need to be more proactive in how they are looking after people's money. They should proactively monitor transactions that clearly align with their customer profile. They should proactively monitor transactions that are, especially large amounts that are entering into banks and leaving banks, especially on the same day. There's no alerts in place for that. Probably introduce friction to transactions to at least slow down the speed in which those transactions are zooming across the internet. So if there are problems, that there are time to intercept those payments. I paid money into an account with the conveyancer's name on it, and it's become quite apparent that many banks are not checking this name, and they're only using BSB and account numbers. So there's no account matching going on. There's no validation of those accounts that are being used for these transactions. Faster payment systems and SMS authentication also needs to be reviewed.
Yeah, 100%. We're sorry you're in this fix, and hopefully there's a way out, and it hasn't emerged yet, but appreciate you being on the show.
Can I just add one thing?
Yeah.
Consumeraction.org have been very supportive, and we're making a move to try and introduce legislation by the governments that make the banks reimburse people that have been scammed. And this has been very successful in the UK for a number of years already.
Okay. Appreciate it, mate. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey there, Today fans. Sarah and...
What's my name again?
Oh my goodness, Carl.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel, though. Subscribe now for more news, special reports, and amazing Aussie stories.
And Carl misbehaving,
Whoa,
of course.
That never happens.
Always happens.
What's she talking about?